See, waiting for this shit to catch up. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. Check my fucking volume. Check, check. What the fuck is going on? Let's see what the fuck is going on. 1 second, fam. Check and see what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Check, 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 check. Get this shit right. Let's see. All right. Think I am. Anyway, we're gonna test this shit out and see how it's popping. Anyway, what's happening? It's your boy, Mr. Rico C, host of the Frequency Radio. This is a motivational moment. You know what I'm saying? It's a motivational moment because I don't plan to take a lot of your time. But you know, again, we chilling here on the frequency, and I was thinking about some shit this morning, and you know, just on my mind about trials and tribulations. You know, and I can remember when I was younger, you know, my mother uh, reading the Bible verse, you know, about the Hebrew boys, you know, not bowing down to Nebuchadnezzar and his statue or what have you. And you know, and that whole story, and you know, and it resonates, you know, with me today. You know, I can look back at it, I guess in a retrospective view, and and you know, and every time or anytime I have a situation where I need to draw strength from, you know, that's one of the stories, you know, that I go back to, and each time I go back to it, you know, depending on the storm, depending on the situation I'm in, it's you know, reveals something different. You know, that's what's amazing, you know, about the Bible. You know, also I know a lot of people knock it, that kind of thing. But if it used correctly, and you know how, and if you understand how to position um, the information in there, it could be, you know, most certainly powerful. So again, in the story, you know, they didn't want to bow down. It was the Hebrew boy, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. You know, and they didn't want to bow down. You know, they were brought before the king, and the king was like, "Yo, you know, I forgive you, motherfuckers, right now if you bow down, if you bend the knee." You know what I'm saying? Like some Game of Thrones shit. You know, if you bend the knee, you know, I'll let you ride. And they was like, "Yo, well, we don't need to answer you cautiously in this matter." You know, king. It was like, look, the the creator, the God that we serve is able, you know, is able to deliver us from you. You know what I'm saying? And and even if he doesn't, we still won't, you know, bow down, right? But he's able, you know, to. And then later on in the text, you know, they eventually get tossed in this, they get tossed in this fire, you know, they get tossed in this furnace, you know, and out of the rage of, you know, the king Nebuchadnezzar, he had them raise the stakes and raise the flames or make them 7 times hotter than it originally was. So hot that it killed the motherfuckers that was bringing Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego up to the fire, right? Amazing. They was bound up in that kind of thing, and they were tossed in this fire, face first. They fell down in the fire. And then a little bit later, you know, Nebuchadnezzar seen them in the fire walking around, but not only just with them three, it was another individual in the fire with them, walking amongst the flames, walking in the fire, with him. You know what I'm saying? And, of course, once it was over and they pulled them out, they was like, wow, these dudes don't even smell like smoke. They don't even look like they've been through shit. No, the clothes are not burnt. The hair doesn't have a singe. It doesn't even seem like they was in a fucking fire. And it's powerful because, we all go through situations and we all have scenarios. And, lots of times if you're not careful, the motherfuckers can snap you. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, they understood that, and, what really stands out for me is that when they were tossed in the fire, when they were tossed in the situation, right? When they were tossed in the flames, when they were tossed in the hatred, you understand? Where they were put in a situation where, you know, they had no choice, and their belief system and what they believed in was online. They rode on that. You know what I mean? They was riding on that 100%. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know. I hope this shit is recording. Yeah, I don't know, but you know, and that's all they had to. That's all they had to. It was really nothing else to hold on to, but what they believed in, and what happened if you read the text, like I was stating before, is that everybody else saying the text highlighted that, specifically highlighted that Nebuchadnezzar, and I believe one of his cronies, right, was like, yeah, check it out, it's four of them motherfuckers in there. It was three, but now it's four, and they walking around in it. You know what I'm saying? So when you had these situations, you had these scenarios, and you tossed in the flames, you know what I'm saying? Know that you're not in it by yourself. Know that you're not walking through that alone. Although it may appear that way in the physical, you know what I'm saying? It appears that way in the physical plane, but you're not walking alone. You understand? You're not in the situation alone. In these situations, right, there are roadmaps. These situations, these scenarios, these conflicts that we place ourselves in, right? When we come out the other end of that, that's a roadmap. That's a legend. You know what I'm saying? For the next individual that's going to go through that same shit or something similar. And your job is to give that back. Your job is to get that back. You know what I'm saying? And because they're most certainly going to come. They're most certainly going to come. And some people don't get out of them. Some people don't get out of the situations or scenarios, and the scenarios encompass them. And, sometimes it will expire them. But you have to be able to channel that energy. You have to be able to channel that energy. I think we've all been in situations, right? And before you go in the situation, I mean, if it's one of those situations where you can see it coming, a lot of times we might not necessarily see the end. You understand? You might not see how you can make it out of that, and you go through it, and you make it through that motherfucker, and you like, well, shit, I didn't think I was gonna make it through that. But I made it through that. You know what I'm saying? But I made it through. So, and once you make it through, right, your job is to get that testimony, to give it back to the next person, whether it's, you know, grabbing an individual, you know what I'm saying, that you see fucking up, perhaps going in the same footsteps that you went in. You take them under your wing and you get that information back, or you put this shit out. I mean, now with the technology now, we can reach the world. You know what I'm saying? We can reach the masses. So it's about giving your story back. So again, when, not if, you know what I'm saying? When these situations come, you know what I'm saying? When they fucking come, understand that you're not in it alone. You're not in it alone. You understand? You got the angelic realm. You know what I'm saying? You got the ancestors, especially if you're melanated. You know what I'm saying? You're not in it alone. You know what I'm talking about? So understand at your darkest moment, in your darkest situation, where it doesn't appear that the outcome will have a positive result or a result in your favor. Hang in there. Hang in there. Keep fighting. Keep doing what you can do on your end to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? And see yourself at the end of it. See yourself accomplishing that. Seeing yourself overcoming that situation. You know what I'm saying? Step by step, right? Visualize it. You know, see how you're going to overcome that. And when you overcome it, let us know how you felt about it. Let us know everything you went through. Let us know how you got out of it, right? Let us know how you champion the situation. You know what I'm saying? That's what it means being the head, not the tail. You know what I'm saying? That's what it means being a God. You understand? You know, so take those things, you know, with full heart and understand that they do chisel, you know, your character. You know what I'm saying? They create character. So take those situations. Take those situations and learn from those situations. You know, right? But if you haven't read that passage or that scripture, you know, or that fable, right? Whatever you want to call it, check it out and read it. It's powerful. I do it every time. I believe this is going to be Daniel chapter 9. I want to say Daniel chapter 9. You can start at Daniel chapter 9. But but again, it's really powerful. You know, it's really powerful, you know, once you read it, especially if you're going through um especially if you're going through one of those situations, one of those breakers, you know, right? And ultimately understand that, you know, our creator, the supreme creator, you know, he put everything in you. I wouldn't necessarily say he, because we don't know. We'll just say that it's an energy, you know what I'm saying? And it's androgynous, right? Go look that shit up. But, you know, when we were created, we were made in the likeness, you know what I'm saying, of the creator, right? So everything was put inside of you. Everything was put inside you. You know what I'm saying? It was already in you. I mean, I know you hear these stories. I know my time is limited. And I know you hear these stories, or you know, you've seen on some of these social networks where, you know, a car turns over, some shit like that in a lake or something, and you know, there's no emergency services around, and it's nothing but uh, you know, a family or you know, some bystanders that's standing by, and I've seen two people, you know, lift the fucking car. You understand? I've seen where a mother lift a fucking car for a baby to get her baby from up, from get her to save her baby from death. Right? I've read about situations where people have been climbing and boulders like the size of cars have been on top of them, but they rise to the occasion or they overcome those situations because of loved ones. Or you'll hear about them saying like, oh, all I could think about was getting back to my family. All I could think about was, hey, what, my family, love, 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 right? You know what I'm saying? So where are they getting that strength from? You know what I'm saying? You know, how do you move a one-ton object, you know, off of your chest by yourself? You know, how does a mother lift, you know, a vehicle, you know, off her child, you know, to save her, you know, from being crushed, you know, or killed? You're tapping in. You know what I'm saying? You're tapping into some things, right? And that's what those Hebrew boys did. They tapped in. You know what I'm talking about? So embrace your situations, embrace those trials and tribulations. You know that they're gonna come. Be prepared for them. You know, back up against this wall right here, like you see behind me. You know what I mean? And you know, and give it all you got. And once you do that, you know, you'll make it through. You know what I'm saying? You'll make it through, and you create a roadmap. Loud motherfucker, but you'll create a roadmap, right, or a legend. You know what I'm saying? Like I was explaining before, for the next person that's going through it, and post it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you give back. But again, just know when you're going through your worstest hour and your worstest situation, right? When you're in the flames, just know, you know that you know your ancestors are walking with you. The angelic realm is walking with you. You know what I'm saying? So don't give up. And remember those things. And make sure you check out the Frequency Radio. Check us out on Facebook. I'm streaming live on YouTube right now. This will be the platform where the majority, of my live content will come from. And I appreciate everybody tuning in. You know what I'm saying? Stay tuned for the next. Again, this is a motivational moment. This is your boy, Mr. Rico C, host of the Frequency Radio. Peace.